behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another interview coming up shortly. But don't forget about that subscribe button and bell button below you there. And anytime a new episode comes your way, you'll be notified. You can check that out. And leave a comment on the comment section if you'd like. We'd love to hear from you there. And also check the description. We'll have contact info for you. And we'll have contact info for you at the closing credits at the end of the show as well. So stay tuned for that. From Spanish Fork, Utah today, we have Brian Whittaker. I think you're really going to like this guy. He's a great artist. And we're going to get to that interview in just a second because it starts right now. Okay, here we are with the interview. And from Spanish Fork, Utah today, we have Brian Whittaker. Thanks for coming on the show, Brian.
Thanks for having me, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And Jerry Lee Willis, his cousin, was the one that arranged this. And of course, you remember from many years ago, we've had him on the show. But anyway, tell us a little bit about your story, about how you began. I mean, I'm sure you always wanted to be a musician and you started out as a kid or whatever. But anyway, tell us in your own words.
Yeah, when I was probably around 11 or 12, and my dad, I told him I wanted to play guitar, so we went to a place and they taught us like 10 chords and then pretty much shipped us out the door. So, and I didn't have my own guitar, so my sister did. But she wouldn't play for anybody. So every time she'd leave the house, I'd sneak into her room, steal her guitar, and she had a John Denver songbook. So I would go on the back patio, and that's how I taught myself how to play, was that John Denver songbook, and at night sitting out on the patio. And so it was kind of cool. It's like I kind of found my own little way of playing and really enjoyed it. Then my mom, I wanted a guitar and take lessons, and the only place you could afford was one that if you bought 6 weeks of lessons, you got a free guitar. So she did that for me, and I've still got the guitar to this day, and that just set me off on my journey. So, and then I started about 15 years old. I started writing some songs, just kind of some stories that I would have in my head and put them to music. And I am a storyteller. I'm a talker, so gives me a chance to put some music with all my stories I like to tell. I grew up, my neighbor's dad listened to old country, and that's pretty much where I grew up. So I was around that Conway Twitty and Willie and Waylon and all those old country songs. So as I started playing, I've got a lower voice, so the country singers kind of fit right into my vocal range. And I just love stories or songs with stories in them. So I really kind of glommed onto that. And that's country was mainly my main thing that I loved to play. And for years, I didn't play in front of a whole lot of people. It was around the campfire and just liked entertaining, that kind of stuff. And then about 15, 20 years ago, some friends and I had an opportunity to play in the neighborhood. And we liked it so much, we started a little cover band for a couple of years. So that was fun. I really got my feet wet with that. And then after that, I wanted to keep playing. So I started playing restaurants solo and singing some of my own songs and some covers. And that was great exposure for me. It's what I needed to really focus on the singing and the guitar playing. And then a few years after that, I had quite a few songs I had written. But my wife and my father-in-law, Ron, kept telling me I needed to record them. And I kind of put it off. And then finally, a few years ago, I thought, okay, it's time. And went in and found a guy starting his own studio and kind of from the ground up. And yeah, we started doing it. It's amazing to hear songs you played just on the guitar, all of a sudden with bass and drums and some harmonies. And it was a really cool experience for me. So from then on, it's just it got me to want to perform live even more. Now I'm hooked up with a couple of buddies, a little trio called Union Bridge. We play restaurants and parties and whatever we can play. So just just love playing. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it, and it's just, it's just in my blood. I can't stop playing and singing. I love it. So
Okay, well, that's a great story there, Brian. And I noticed you mentioned quite a number of old classic country musicians, like Willie and Waylon, and you even mentioned John Denver. Those are all great artists. Would you say those were some of your influences? And did you have any others?
absolutely. I mean, John Denver was the biggest because that's how I learned how to play guitar. And listening to his songs. Another big influence was Don Williams for me.
Mhm.
He's got that deep baritone voice, and his songs tell a story, and he has a lot of feeling in his music. And so I really, really based a lot off of Don Williams, and that's kind of who I wanted to be. And those country singers, like I said, Willie and Waylon, and they all helped kind of shape that. When I was a youth, I got into some of the, into rock and roll, but never played it. It was a part of my life, but I didn't have any aspirations to become a lead guitarist and a rock guitar player. So, there's always influences, but yeah, there's, like I said, John Denver and Don Williams are probably my two biggest.
Hmm. Yeah, those are some great ones there. Well, I'm sure you can get all your stuff on streaming media. Is that right? Like Apple Music and Amazon Music, so forth. If so, tell us where to find that, and also tell us where we can find you, like on social media, and if you have an official website, tell us all that.
I don't have a website yet. We're in the trio I'm in. We're starting to get into that a little more. I do have a Facebook page that's under Union Bridge. That's under the trio I play in. The music is on Spotify. I went through CD Baby, and so they put it out all over. It's on Spotify and Apple TV and Apple, yeah, all those streaming applications out there will have the album on there. So
Okay, well, check out those streaming sites and go on Facebook. All those things he just said. I know he would love you for that. And just a moment ago, while you were talking, you mentioned the song, well, the term "It's in My Blood." I guess that's the name of the song we're going to be watching. I'm sure that's self-explanatory because I think you really pretty much said it. But is there a story behind this song that you'd like to talk?
it is. A few years ago, my father-in-law again, Ron, he was diagnosed with cancer and was getting close to the end, but the baseline to him was just a good person. It was like he took care of people and he gave respect and was always there and willing to help at any time. And he's got a lot. All his grandsons are great, but his four grandsons, it just hit me like these four kids. It's not a mistake that these guys are great men, and it all kind of stems from that. And in my head, I was like, they basically took the best parts of him and and kind of and their parents and molded their lives. And it just hit me. It's like I heard a song with something about in my blood on the radio. It was in country, and it just sparked that in my head. And so I went home and probably in 10 or 15 minutes wrote this song out. And it's just all about our ancestors and who we are, and that each generation, if we take the best from the prior generation and learn from their mistakes and learn from the things that they did well, that we'll just be better people. And so that's where that song came about. So that means a lot to me. And he passed away before I could get it recorded, and he didn't hear it. So, but it's a very special song to me that way. So, yeah.
It is a really great song too, and I know everyone's going to watch this, like I said, in just a moment, and I know you'll love it too. But I think that's all we really need for now, Brian. And well, thank you for being on the show again. Like I said, we'd love to have you back again sometime if you want to push something new for us.
Okay, I'd love it. I appreciate you. Appreciate your time, and thanks for letting me be on here.
Yeah, no problem, Brian. So let's get right to the song. It's in my blood, and it begins right now.
I drive a pickup truck, wear a hat with boot and jeans. I'll open your door and hold your hand and help you find your dreams. You wonder why I like a warm campfire on a cool summer night. Getting up so early to see the morning's golden light. I'll hunt anything, drop a pheasant, nothing flat. Up in the mountains is where God and I can have a chat. Stay out on that lake, fishing all day long. turn on my truck radio, you'll hear a country song. It's in my blood, it's how I live. There's a reason that I do the things I do. It's been passed on down for ages, just a branch on that old tree. I can't change the way I am deep down. It's all a part of me, it's in my blood. I stand for what is right, taking pride in all I do. Respect is earned and given, calloused hands are nothing new. You know love can be so fleeting, people just throw it away. My love has a history, and I'll show you every day. It's in my blood, it's how I live. There's a reason that I do the things I do. It's been passed on down for ages, just a branch on that old tree. I can't change the way I am deep down. It's all a part of me, it's in my blood. My family isn't perfect, we'd never claim to be. But if I take the best of all of them, it'll be the best in me. Yeah, this family, we're not perfect, Lord, we'd never claim to be. If I take the best of all of them, it'll be the best in me. It's in my blood, it's how I live. There's a reason that I do the crazy, crazy things I do. It's in my blood, ooh, it's how I live. There's a reason that I do the things I do. It's been passed on down for ages, just a branch on that old tree. I can't change the way I am deep down. It's all a part of me, it's in my blood.